What's going on, everyone? I'm here with Jarad with J Thomas Painting, ready to hammer out some strategy today. DripJobs user. How's DripJobs been going for you, bro?
It's been going good. I kind of got DripJobs as one of the things to make me really like, all right, this is the time to, get my shit together and, my stuff together and, really
Feeling a little more organized?
exactly. And professional and like,
Yeah. That's great,
something
man.
that, at the price, wasn't used to paying anything like that. So once I did that, I was like, all right, well, now I got to work and, I got to start getting my ducks in a row.
You rise to the occasion a little bit. That's what's
Yeah.
up. It's cool, man. So tell me a little bit about your business, and then, well, let's get a little more specific than that. What's going well, and what's an area that you want to focus on today? What's something that you're wanting to get some strategy on?
Well, basically, I've been kind of like on my own for like three, almost 4 years. But it kind of started as a gap in work that I filled with side jobs, and I just kept doing side jobs the whole way.
Right.
And I never really took the time to set up my business like a business. I'm still working, but basically by myself most of the time. I get guys on the weekends from other companies to help me, but basically I'm waiting on. I just filed my LLC. I'm waiting for my test on my license, my California contractor's license. And then I'm basically want to be ready to hit the ground running once I get all that lined up.
Sure.
With marketing and sales.
Gotcha.
And just have the foundation like you talk about.
Yeah, that's important, man. I mean, I think you see the potential in the industry and what it can do for your family, especially with you having a license. How far away are you from getting that?
It might be a few months.
Okay. Yeah, so you're preparing, got the LLC figured out.
Yeah.
Getting your license together. So let me ask you what you think the hardest thing of being successful in this business is.
First thing that comes to my mind is just like scheduling out everything, and having to. I'm kind of loose with my schedule because it's basically me. So like just not worried, but that's a concern of mine. Just
sure.
I gotta get better with my time management.
Sure. Yeah. So for you, that's the biggest struggle. Now tell me what you think the hardest part about growing and scaling is.
Basically sales and marketing.
Okay. So those two areas you feel like are what you would consider areas that are a little less
in my purview. Yeah. Definitely not my forte.
Sure.
I mean, I do estimates and I sell jobs.
What a lot of people tell me when I ask that question, they say hiring. So I feel like you have maybe had some good luck bringing on some good people.
I have good people in mind who, I had one of the guys last summer, just helping me for the summer. And then he went back to his old company. And I kind of got some guys kind of waiting in the wings for when I can offer them a better position than, better position in their job where they're at now.
Here's where a lot of people fail. Let's figure out what leads to failure. And this endeavor is a good one. You're wanting to start it off on the right track. Where you'll fail is if you do not identify the exact type of project that you want to perform on a day-to-day basis. If you start saying yes, you're going to be carried all over the place, and it's going to just
that's what I've been doing like the last 3 years, because a lot of my
that's going to be very hard.
A lot of my work was like property management, so they want you to, hey, can you fix this? Can you replace this? I ended up picking up all those things, but it ended up wasting a lot of time, me learning things, different stuff.
So what is it that you want to focus on?
I want to focus on just marketing and
no, not in terms of focus on, like, what type of projects.
I see. Okay, sorry about that. Basically I'm with interior exterior repaints.
Okay, so interior exterior repaints.
I'm not in a position to really. I'll pick up some cabinets, but I'm not really. I don't have a shop.
Right. So I think ideal. Sticking with that. Now marketing is important, because what marketing's job is to do is, number one, to put your name in front of people that want painting done. But number two, if they're really good at what they do, they'll put people in front of you that want interior and exterior house painting done. Okay. So there's a couple levels to that, right?
Yeah.
So, with that said, I mean, like, early on, you've got to understand, dude, that like you're trying to hit a goal. You're trying to get somewhere. All right. I want you to understand this very clearly. Anytime that you take a project outside of interior and exterior painting, that means, and is not limited to, wood repair, drywall repair, texturing, wallpaper, flooring, tile removal, handyman stuff. Anytime that you say yes to that is going to deviate your focus from interior and exterior painting. Definitely. That's just one principle that we need to lock in, because my goal for you is for this to work, right? And to me, I think this working is you have a team of 3 or 4, you're in a truck driving to estimates while they're doing work. Would you say that that's a pillar of success that you'd be proud of?
Yeah, that's what I would want to achieve, is just to not be on the job so much. Yeah, have cool. A few guys with their own truck, or they can use my work truck. Cool. Go to the jobs while I'm here, or doing estimates.
Love it.
Selling jobs.
So what's going to happen is now here's what's going to happen. All right, you're going to get this license and you're going to do exactly what you've been doing, because that's what's comfortable and it makes sense. Mm-hmm. The only way that this is going to work, in other words, the only way that you make a radical change is if you do something radically different. You kind of mentioned that about DripJobs, how, all right, well, you invested in a software that's probably a little bit more than what you thought it would be, but guess what it did? It forced you to grow a little bit. It's the same thing, dude. I'll be honest with you. It happens to me when you hire a marketer or when you hire a lead service, because what it's going to do, you're going to start seeing leads come in that are going to need to be followed up with. You're going to have to be organized, and you're going to have to foot the bill for that. So what does that create? A better salesperson. So in other words, like, you have to understand that, like, all these things go hand in hand, and this is the challenge, doing it all at once. So when it comes to marketing, what thoughts did you have on how you were going to approach that?
Basically listening to you, and watching other things, listening to podcasts. I'm thinking of Facebook ads and Google.
Cool. Facebook ads and Google. Now, were you planning on doing those yourself, or were you planning on maybe having someone do them for you?
Well, I'm running into a thing right now. I just bought I've had my domain for a while for my website, but I just signed up for WordPress and Elementor. And so I'm at the point where I either learn how to do all that and make my own website, or I hire somebody. It's the same thing with marketing. I could spend all that time figuring out how to do it, but I know it's smarter to hire someone.
It's smarter to hire somebody. Just like you're an expert at what you do, they're experts at what they do. Mm-hmm. The issue you'll run into is trying to save every dollar. And like right now, like I always say, this is the riskiest decision you're ever going to make. It's going all in. You might as well risk it all. Sure. So for me, when it comes to Facebook and Google, no one can find your website unless it's placed right in front of them at the time they want to see a painting contractor's website, right?
Exactly.
So some people have the idea that if they make this amazing website, people will find it and book it.
Go to it. Yeah.
Not going to happen. There's way too much noise surrounding that. So I like the strategy of diversifying. I think that right off the bat, you have to understand the difference between Facebook and Google. If you've heard any of my podcasts, it really has to do with motivation. Typically, people on Google are more motivated to hire rather than people on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I don't go on Facebook to hire for services. Do you?
No, it's more like getting a following and people in the neighborhood. And you can target. I like the targeting certain demographics and neighborhoods even.
But in terms of motivation, like if you had to paint that room tomorrow, you're not going to go on Facebook. You're going to go on Google. So
it's going to be, that might be nice someday to paint.
Right. And then you see an ad because Facebook hears you and they go, oh, here's an ad for a painting contractor. So, it's funny, man. But anyway, it's just important that, kind of like, hey, early on, you need as many jobs as you possibly can get. Both of these are cool, but there's no greater higher motivation than that of a lead service like Angie right now.
I knew that's where you were going.
Well, you've heard me say it. I'm not going to change up what I believe until I'm proven wrong. And it's not, look, I'm saying this because it's like, here's the deal with Google. There's so many different things that are going to happen. Okay. Number one, you're going to find somebody that promises that they can do SEO, run away fast. SEO takes so long to yield a result. It's not worth it. It's not, because before SEO was really good. You know why? Because companies like Angie, Thumbtack, and all the other ones, didn't exist really. Now, it's so hard to get organically ranked. It's near impossible. So the second part of Google is your reviews. Now that you can control, but that takes time. At this point, I have like 185 star reviews. That took me 5 years. I mean, so that's a long-term game. Every job you do, you need to get a review on Google. That's
and I know I can go for my past customers and get some of those reviews.
Even better.
Start to rank them
Character reviews. Love it.
The competition around here, they don't have a web
Your goal
presence.
should be 2 a month.
Yeah.
2 a month is a good goal for you. 25 reviews a year. Okay. That should just be a focus of yours. So you're building that Google presence, but you're not going to heavily depend on it. And then the third one is Google Ads. Now, remember, there's people that are going to be searching for painting companies in your area. Remember, not only do they have to get past the ads at the top, which some see as spammy, not everybody like takes the ad at the very top.
No, I glaze right over them.
You glaze right over it. I rented a bounce house for my, I had a little party here at my house, and, and just as a consumer, blaze right past the ads, go right to the reviews, see who's got the most reviews, call. Okay.
Yep.
That's the best thing. So that's what I'm saying. You want to build that up over time, but you need a fast start. Okay. That's what I'm trying to emphasize. A fast start is right out of the gun. You need to be in front of people that want you to come over for an estimate. That's it.
Angie Leads and pay-per-click.
Angie Leads, pay-per-click. And then if you can afford it, maybe not early on, but you want to build some Facebook revenue as well. But again, you don't need much. I think if you can find somebody to do pay-per-click for you, and you can find some, or you can obviously facilitate Angie. And I think you should sign up for Thumbtack as well. Both of those I've done early on. I've heard better things about Thumbtack. Cool thing is we can integrate both with DripJobs. So as soon as you get that lead, it pops right into your DripJobs account, drops into cold leads. They get a text message and an email within seconds. Yeah. So,
the immediate follow-up is not something you have to worry about.
No, not at all. You don't even have to think about it, because the leads are going to come in at any time of the day. They're going to come in at 1 o'clock in the morning if someone's online, so you don't know.
You pay for them no matter what, correct? Like, so if you get the lead,
that's where you've got to, now this is where you become a salesperson, because I would rather, if you had to pick between one of these two things, marketing and sales, don't worry about being a good marketer. You can pay people to do that. Yep. You can't pay people right now to be a good salesperson for you. No one's going to come in and sell jobs for your company unless they take a significant cut. Right now, you don't have that. Yeah. So that's where you come in. Sales does not start when you're in the house, bro. Sales starts from that initial follow-up and text message from DripJobs. That's when the sales kick off. That's why it's called a sales pipeline, right?
And that's the motivation right there when you got $100.
When you see those leads, $100 freaking estimate, you might even think about knocking on their door. I've done it. Okay. And when I was hungry and I didn't have it, I went to knock on the door. Hey, how you doing? Did you put in this lead here?
Yeah, you can normally let that slide, but you got that little Benjamin on there.
Yeah, man. So, but again, like the mindset, this is all about a mindset. It's like, first of all, you're going to be spending money that you haven't spent before. And that's challenging for a lot, especially when you go from, only worrying about your own to now worrying about someone else. And you got to understand that it's a long game buying leads. You got to get that. It's a month.
That's one thing I want to focus on before I do get my license, is just, stacking some money to do all that.
Stack some money. I mean, but here's the thing, prepare, you got to have little buckets. So I think like the first bucket is your software bucket, which you've allocated the 150 or whatever, plan you're on to that. So you're good there. You really shouldn't have any other software that you're using. I mean, DripJobs pretty much covers that. The next bucket should be your marketing bucket. So this is important, right? How much are you willing to spend on marketing?
I don't really know how much I should be spending. That's
okay. So if I were a pay-per-click company and I went up to you and said, okay, it's going to be $1,000 per month, what would be your answer? Yes or no?
At this moment, no. That's
okay.
Steep. But
that's steep. Okay. So it's steep to you. It's cheap to me. You need to make it to where it's cheap to you. Okay.
Yeah,
that's cheap. I wouldn't even I wouldn't even say yes to that, because you got to know the game. You got to understand that not only is he needing money for ad spend, he needs money for their service to manage your ads.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah. And I'm always worried about, like, is it really going to work? Am I going to get leads? Well,
what you should be worried about what you learn and become better at when it comes to being a decision maker, right? Because you're going to quote unquote lose money. If every one of your leads, bro, turned out to be a sale, I mean, people will be lining up at your door figuring out what you're doing.
Sure.
It doesn't happen, man. And the thing is like, you got to look at the big picture. Here's my example. You probably heard me say this, but maybe it'll hit a little different when you hear it now. You paint the inside of a house, ceiling, walls, trim, doors. Have you done that before?
Yes. 20 years.
2,000 square foot house.
Yep.
Okay. How much are you charging?
Probably 6.
6 grand.
Yeah.
Okay. How much is paint?
Paints 700.
$700.
700-800.
5,300.
Yeah.
Get it done in a week with 2 guys, 3 guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
I could get it done, yeah.
Pay them
3 guys,
maybe
4 days.
$1,500. So you're at like 3,700 profit.
Mhm.
Okay. One job, 1 week, 3,700 profit average. I'm a Google pay-per-click guy. I just told you that it's $1,000 for the month. And out of that $1,000, I'm guaranteeing you at least 15 to 20 opportunities that you can convert to one of those.
Mhm.
So in other words, if you paid me that, yes, a portion of what you paid me as the Google pay-per-click guy comes out of that profit. But guess what? There's still 18 to 19 more opportunities that you're going to get. You might even close only 5 of those opportunities. But if each one averages 3 to 4 grand, which is low,
Yeah.
that's 15,000 plus the 5. You could be generating about $20,000 with a $1,000 entry fee. And that's the trick. You've got to see it that way, or else
Gotta
you're
trick
gonna
your
look
brain.
at it. You really do. It's freaking
Yeah.
weird, dude. It sucks, but it's like, wait a minute, this is better than the stock market.
Yeah.
I'm making an 800% return on Angie leads. In other words, I spend 4 grand on Angie leads, $4,000. This was early on. I don't do it anymore. And you turn around and then you flip it to 60 grand in sales. So it's just important for you to really get that in your head, dude. The hardest part of this is going to be the first 3 months. You're going to spend money that you're not used to spending. You're going to do things that don't make sense. But what you need are 2 things. 2 things. You need reps. That's you getting in and calling these leads, figuring out what they're saying, finding out, why they're not buying, convincing them to do estimates with you, even though they freaking booked an estimate or they went through the process of putting in the information, right? That's part of the game. Okay. And then that's reps when it comes to it. The administrative side is what I'm explaining to you, is kind of just making sure that you're nurturing people, which DripJobs will do, but it can't do it perfectly. Yeah. Only you can do that. Calling them, staying on top of it. The second part is experience in the home with as many people as possible. That's the key. That's the only way to get better at sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I've done a lot of estimates and, but it's not automatic for me. I'm always like thinking about it before I go, it's like
you came up with a price on a 2,000 square foot house in under 25 seconds.
Yeah.
Don't overthink pricing, bro. That's the worst thing you can do. It doesn't matter. It's just, it's an illusion. You know how much paint's going to go I laugh when people go crazy with these perfect measurements. And it's like, when you scale your company and you need salespeople to come in and you need to have like a formula for them to just plug in numbers and like, yeah, great. I'm not talking to those people right now. I'm talking to us here who really just look at what the amount of product we're going to use, the amount of time it's going to need, and then multiply it by 2, you have yourself a price to start with, and that's where it comes down to. When you hire somebody, have you ever hired anyone before officially, like legitimately, or would this be your first time?
No, they've been all cash.
So
guys,
have you heard me talk about a program called Gusto?
Yeah, I've got an account with Gusto.
Smart. So you have an account with Gusto, you're going to get that going. That's a great thing to do, just simply because what we're doing is we're outsourcing our marketing. We're outsourcing our payroll. Do you have a phone system set up yet?
I don't, just the Twilio.
Well, that's through DripJobs, which is good, but you need an actual phone. I want you to look up a program. You don't need it. I think early on you should be the one answering, because it gives them, you're going to build more trust. But there's a program called Open Phone. And if you're listening, it'll be in the description. But yes, Open Phone's really good. I'll give you a link. I think you get $20 off.
That's just
like $20 a month. So no, it's a business line, but it's phenomenal, dude. I mean, what it does, couple things. You have a DripJobs account. So if you miss a call, it's going to send a link to that missed call with your booking link in it. So if you, for whatever reason, are busy and they wanted an estimate, they're not left without being taken care of.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very interesting. And then it's a cloud-based system. So, if you have someone that answers your phone, you can route it to them and then you can hear the recordings. So you can stay on top of it. It's just an amazing program. I'm 100% bought in. Great program. So So anyway, like I said, it works in tandem with DripJobs. So anyway, those 2 things are good pillars to think about. But really, man, like, I look at what you told me. You said that sales and marketing are your 2 things. Don't think about marketing, pay for marketing. That's it.
Done.
Right? Sales, let's talk about it. Your negotiation strategy. Do you have one?
I do not, I go
All right,
in
I'm going to
there.
teach you negotiation in under 3 steps. You ready?
Yeah.
Tell me your price.
It's going to cost about $6,000.
Okay. That's a little higher than what I thought it is. We'll give you a call back.
Well, see, this is where I'll slip up. I would normally
Right.
just be like, oh, all right, well, thanks,
Right. So what you want to say is, what number did you have in mind?
Yeah.
Say that to me.
What number did you have in mind? If you don't mind me asking.
I wanted to be at about 4,500, and my wife and I discussed. Next
Yeah,
question is, hold on. Next question is, how'd you come up with that number? Have you ever hired a painting company before?
So how'd you come up with that number 4,500? You ever hired a professional painter before?
Yeah, I did. Back at our old house in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, what was their process?
Oh, yeah, actually it was just one guy I met from actually my neighbor painted it, be honest with you. And he just painted it as a favor to us, but
Yeah.
that's about what we paid.
Well, listen, well, I'm going to come in and I'm going to, I basically just go through and tell them all.
So
the
here's
things,
the
their
thing,
jobs
right?
would
So
entail.
that's good, but that's negotiation. It's just get a little deeper than there's always a reason. Everyone has a budget. Everyone.
Yeah.
There's not one person that comes, and some people I generally just don't know, right? Like in other words, when I asked you about how much Google Ads you thought it would be, you generally didn't know because you haven't had that experience yet. For those people, I totally understand. Majority people have an idea, and they're either going to relate it to a previous experience or they're going to relate it to someone else's experience that they heard about,
That they heard about,
like,
told them how much they paid. Yeah.
So find out, like, bro, you don't have to look at it like car sales. It's just a matter of just kind of just getting a little bit. And the only way, I'm going to tell you something, this is another thing. The only possible way that you can ever get someone to pay more than what they budgeted for, right? So in other words, if there's a budget and then you come with a price, there's this gap here. Okay. Their budget, your price. The absolute only way to get them to change their budget, which is pretty difficult for some people, is for you to build value and educate as to why. You can't do that if you don't ask questions. There's no way, because what are you going to start asking random questions? You got to find out information and then you ask questions. How was that experience? Was there anything you didn't like about that experience? Is there a reason why you moved out of that house? This is a much newer house. It's going to require a little bit different technique when it comes to preparation. Did you hear what I said about how we're going to put plastic on your floors? That takes about 3 hours of our time in the morning, but we don't want to get any paint on your floors. I have a team of 2.
Add value.
Build value, man. And then say, listen, I know you wanted to be at 45. I'm at 6. I don't do this often, but I really want this job. Listen, if you allow me to earn your business today, I can give you a $500 discount. And it's like, it's okay to take money off the price. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit different than some of the coaches out there that might say, hold on to your price like it's your life. Don't let them disrespect you. I don't take it personal. It's fine. It's business. If I know that I'm pricing at a certain margin, anything above 30% is a pretty healthy margin. It's one more job for my team.
For sure.
Gave me the experience of getting a sale, and I'm on to the next one.
Yeah, I usually come, I'm usually like, if I come down like maybe even 20%, that's like my base, like from what
it's like, but I want you to you don't want to give up too much. I like value added add-ons. Like I like saying, you know what, I saw that your roof could be cleaned. You know what, I'll tell you what, if you allow me to earn your business, I can get your roof cleaned at no charge. Maybe that cost me $200 instead of knocking off 500, so these are just a couple principles that, to think about. But I want you, next time you go to an estimate and you present that price, are you presenting it in person or are you doing it over the phone?
Well, in the past, I've, let me get your email. I'll send you an invoice, that kind of deal. Okay. But I know that's not, it's not the way to do it. I need to be
not
doing
the way.
it on the
I
spot.
think early on, you got to understand that, again, for the first 3 to 6 months, you need to do uncomfortable stuff, man. You just put it all on the line. You got your license. You're going to have team members that are counting on you. How bad do you want it? And when I say how bad do you want it, can you sit in front of somebody? Can you powerfully present your proposal and then prepare for what they're going to say? Typically,
it's going to take reps.
That's what I'm telling you. It's like reps. And eventually you just get to the point where you're going to, the answers. You could see the look in their face, or you're going to get people that say, you know what, sounds great. How do we move forward? And that's always fun.
Yeah.
But your goal as a business owner early on is to get in front of as many people as possible, no matter how much that costs. And you and I both know you've been doing this for 20 years. It's the law of averages. If I got 100 homeowners, probably 15 of them are going to hire me.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I showed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you just got to get in front of
you were here when you said you were. That's weird.
Right, bro. But people understand that it's worth paying more. I mean, it's not like you're selling, shoe shine at the airport. I mean, it's one of those things like, come on, everyone wants their house painted, but they want someone they can trust.
For sure.
So don't overthink sales, man. It's just be yourself, and you don't have to be quick, and you don't have to be savvy. I don't want you to think that you need to turn into someone different. All I'm saying is that when it comes down to negotiation, all it is just asking the right questions so you can give the right answers.
Mm-hmm. Being patient.
Don't leave.
I think that's the thing. I need to be patient.
Yeah. So sales, marketing. I mean, again, covering marketing. First decision should be head over to get Angie, set up, get Thumbtack set up, try out those lead sources. Neither of them require a contract, which is good. And then once you're ready.
What about bookkeeping? What do you got for me there? I know, because I got bookkeeping for painters.com.
Yeah, they're my good friends. Reach out to them.
For sure.
That's
yeah.
it.
I said, that's another thing. All the numbers. It's another thing I could do and learn how to do, but I don't want to.
Do you have an account with Sherwin-Williams?
Yes, I do.
Finance your paint.
Yeah, I already talked to my rep yesterday. I'm getting another
try to get 10 grand. How much did they give you?
2,500. That was just for me myself, but
yeah, just tell them you plan to grow and try to get 10 grand. Reason why is because instead of you worrying about having to pay off your paint immediately, you're going to use that money to pay marketing.
Yeah.
They give you free money. That's like a $10,000 loan if you get a $10,000 credit increase, so it's like, bro, I'm telling you, off the gate, you got to come in hot. You got to spend the money.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. If you do that, you just ride that momentum I'll be honest, I'm still riding the same momentum of these same principal decisions that I'm telling you 5 years later. I bought leads when I didn't have the money to buy it. And I hired people when I didn't have the work. And I sold the job to buy me more time between the time that they had enough work and I didn't have work. And I'm still doing that. Right now, I'm only 14 jobs away from complete failure, but I always stay above the curve.
Yeah, that's what I'm just, I forgot what I was going to say. Just thinking about that.
It's going to be different for you, but I think you're ready, man. Just again, get the marketing taken care of. You got the accountant, get the phone set up, got the gusto. I mean, you're pretty much there. You got the best software in the game, I will say.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. I'm looking forward to all the updates you got coming, man. I'm glad it's evolving.
Absolutely, man. So was this helpful?
This has been very helpful. Yeah, it's just a little, I know which direction I need to do and what I need to do. Sometimes I need somebody to just tell me to do it.
I'll be that guy. I don't mind. I enjoy it, man. For me, it's just one of those things where
I trust you, I believe in you, and
bro.
As a person, as a coach, as you're, I don't know, I think you know what you're doing, and so I'm gonna listen to you. I don't know
everything, but I've done a couple of things.
This painting thing, I think you got locked, man.
I think so. I work hard at it. I love it, and I understand the game from a higher level. So when it comes to things that I'm not good at, let me pay someone to do it. You're in such a great industry, and I say that because not only is the market really good for the service itself, but the labor market's really good. And if you can just be that person in the middle that connects the labor with the buyers, I mean, what a life you can create for yourself and your family. And that's kind of what the mission is. So good luck, my friend. Come back to me after you get your foot off the ground.
Yeah, I wanted this to be a snapshot where I was, so I can look back at it and say, look, wow, look where I was doing.
You're gonna be like, now you're gonna be like, yeah, Tanner, I just spent $5 grand on marketing this month. We're about to hit 80 grand.
Yeah,
that's what I
want
to
be looking back at myself and laughing,
I mean, you should be proud of yourself because today is a pivotal moment. You came on. It's hard to come on here, bro. Not everyone wants to hear things that they should do, but I'm like, hey, I'll tell you the things that I did. I'm just telling you, take action quick, understand the game, and then
for sure,
and win it. Reps, remember, don't worry about the money you spend. Don't forget that. Forget it. It'll come back.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, man. I will.
All right, brother.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
See you later, man.
Yeah. See you, man.